A very good morning from me here in the usual park, in the usual place where we normally start these videos on this Canada series. It's the last day, it's the final day of the trip today, and I'm feeling quite sad to be leaving Canada. I really have enjoyed myself over the last week. But what we're going to do is, and pretty much like this series, today is not scripted. I think we're just going to head into St John's on the same old bus, go to the same old places, but there's a couple of things I need to get and a couple of things I would like to try. So let's see if we can go down to the city centre. First thing I want to try is the Canadian lobster, so let's go and get ourselves some lobster to eat. And the second thing I need to buy is a fridge magnet. So not really a great theme for this video, but I will include the journey home in this video as well. But for now, let's go head into St John's city centre and let's take a look around the city for one final time. Come on, guys. So let's take one last look at Stavanger Drive Park. This was the name of the park where my accommodation was situated, and if I ever do visit St John's again, which I think I will do, I'll be definitely staying in the same location, the same accommodation. It was absolutely fantastic, but let's get the bus. So we're at the same old bus stop one final time. It's quite sad, to be honest. Metro bus in St John's has been a brilliant way to get around and explore the city, and in fact I made a mistake. I've been paying all my fares cash, whereas if I'd have bought a 10 journey pass I'd have got a little discount. I didn't think I'd do 10 journeys with the bus, but I definitely think I've done more over the last week, so yeah, fair play to them. I mean, they're not that frequent, they come every hour and 10 minutes or hour and 20 minutes, but 15 minutes from anywhere to the town centre is pretty great. So yeah, shout out to them, I guess. But here we are, we're waiting for the bus to pull up now, and we'll head into St John's one final time. Come on. So it's not too long before the bus appears, and what we're going to do now is we're actually going to try and secretly film. When I say secretly film, I'm just going to put the camera around my neck and press record and see how it comes out.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Oh my. Yeah, just hope no one slips. Be careful you don't slip.
Yeah. So as I say, it's a very, very quick journey into St John's downtown area. And in 15 minutes we have been teleported from the outskirts to here on Water Street and by the port. So I thought I'd come down to the waterfront just because it's a nice place to sit and spend 10 minutes in the peaceful surroundings of the harbour before we go back into the downtown area. And we've got a hunt for lobster and hunt for a magnet, fridge magnet, so should be two easy things to find here in St John's, Canada. I don't know what to do with this video, to be honest. As I said before at the start of the video, it's completely unscripted, so I may switch between doing a bit of a point of view type of filming where I wear the camera and just let it record as I go about the shops and that. Not too sure yet, but let's see how it goes. But I just thought we should take in this beautiful harbour one last time, guys. As I say, we haven't got too long left in Canada now. Come on, guys, let's head back to the downtown area. This city does have some magnificent scenery, and this is just a brilliant example here. Absolutely stunning here. We're right on the Atlantic Ocean. And talk about the Atlantic Ocean, I still want my lobster, so what we're going to do is head back onto Water Street and we're going to find a decent lobster menu. But we can see it's still quite early, it's just gone midday, so pretty early for lunch, but it is quite common for me to skip breakfast. Well, I guess it's not every day I can say I'm having lobster for breakfast, so fantastic, or let's call it brunch now as it's gone midday. But we've taken our seat here in this beautiful brewery and we're looking over the menu, and they do indeed serve lobster. And we're going to try the famous lobster rolls. Now, they were absolutely divine. Absolutely fantastic lunch here. Wow, what a lunch that was at that restaurant slash brewery behind me. What's the name? Saltwater. Absolutely fantastic. $28, £14 sterling, and you get 2 lobster rolls. My first time trying the famous dish, and well, it was absolutely incredible. So there's one thing we haven't tried, or I haven't tried being in Canada, and that is going to Tim Hortons. So as it's the last day, this is the last chance for me to go into Tim Hortons and see what they've got to offer. So we'll do that next, and then after that we'll hunt for a magnet. But our price for the magnet has to be under $5 because I've already got another magnet at home. So yeah, we'll see about that. But come on guys, let's explore St John's and hit up Tim Hortons. Come on. Hello mate, how you doing? Good. Can I have 20 Timbits please?
Not everything.
That's it, mate.
Just sorted?
Cash please.
Assorted?
Sorry?
Assorted?
You want the Timbits mixed?
Yeah, mix please.
5 for me.
It was one of those scenarios where I couldn't understand the geezer, but I didn't want to come off rude, so I was pretending to understand the geezer and I didn't know what he was saying. He was saying assaulted, when really I understood the term mixed, even though I know what assorted means, obviously. So here we are after that beautiful lobster lunch. We're going to round it off with 20 mini donuts, that's right. And you're not going to believe it, I finished every single one. So that is Tim Hortons ticked off the Canadian checklist of things to eat. I can't believe I ate 20 donuts after those 2 lobster rolls. I tell you, since I've been here, I haven't eaten so much in a long time. Now the weather today is about 17, 18 degrees and sunny, but that's all about to change in about an hour's time, where the wind is going to change and it's going to bring the temperature here down to 5 degrees. So that is a massive drop, 11 degrees in temperature. So just going to spend the last hour or so out here in the town while it's still warm, while we can still explore a little bit. Now what we want to do is we want to try and find a little magnet with St John's on. I've already, as I said in the previous piece to camera, I've already got one of those. So yeah, let's take a look around and hopefully we'll get ourselves a cheeky little magnet. Come on. Now this is a top tip for anyone coming to Canada, not just St John's. When you want to get your souvenirs, you need to head to this store here, Dollarama, because they have so much Canadian merchandise, flags, cups, all the tourist tack you need and buy when you go away. And the prices are so cheap. I think one of those hats were like $5, which works out as £2.50. So if you come into Canada, no matter where the city is, head to Dollarama. But I've picked up a couple of little things here, just a couple of pins for a mate. We've also got some fridge magnets. Although we want something special, we're going to head off to another shop to get the proper fridge magnet. We've also got some little flags here, although I didn't purchase any flags.
Good. $2.
Fantastic. There we are.
Thank you.
That's perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So So there we are, guys. We had to stop in Dollarama, and I tell you what, it's very good for souvenirs. Very, very cheap. Probably the cheapest in St John's. I got myself a keyring there, only costing $2 or £1 sterling. So yeah, but I'm still trying to find a fridge magnet that's reasonably priced that has St John's on it. As I said, I do have a Canada one, but I do want a St John's one. So what we're going to do is we're going to check one local gift shop just down the road here, and if they haven't got it, well, I'm not going to waste my day running around looking for one. We're going to go out and I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to go with the flow, guys. Let's go. So let's take the last shots of Water Street here, the main high street in St John's. Now as the holiday winds down, gives me a bit of time to reflect on what a fantastic place this has been. I really cannot recommend it enough, and as I've said in the previous videos, 280 quid return from Gatwick to St John's, well worth it.
You're next door.
Hello there, just this one please, thank you.
$5.74.
Perfect.
What's that?
There we are, thank you. Very kind, thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Cheers, thank you. I even managed to catch this shot of this Inuit selling his art on the street, but that's the magnet we've been looking for. So there we are, guys, mission successful. We got the fridge magnet, which is brilliant to be honest, because that's one less thing to worry about, and it did reach the maximum budget of $5. So I think the best thing for us to do now is take another stroll around town. Come on. Now you wouldn't believe it, but I have never seen weather change so quickly in my life. Well, just as Google said, the weather changed very, very quickly here. It is so cold, just in the space of 10 minutes, and it's clouded over with a chance of some rain. So I think it'll be time to leave the city centre soon, because we'll have to head back to the gaff and we'll have to pack, get ready for our flight this evening back to Gatwick. So yeah, let's make our way out of the city. Come on. So I've jumped off the bus a little bit early because, and you're not going to believe it guys, there's one last place I do want to eat and I do want to try while we're here in Canada. So that road just down there, that actually marks, well, that road actually is the Trans-Canadian Highway. So it starts here in St John's and it goes all the way to Vancouver. Incredible, eh? Canada is the second largest country on the planet. The weather has really, really gone south now and it is absolutely freezing. I've just stopped off here because I want to get one last bite to eat before we go back to the gaff. Oh my god, it is so cold. But yeah guys, let's continue. I don't know what to say, I'm freezing. Alright guys. So you know we couldn't come to North America and not have fried chicken. And today we have chosen this local chain, Mary Brown's. And we got ourselves a chicken burger and chips. Absolutely fantastic. Once again, I'm eating junk food and I'm really ashamed to admit this, but there were so many other meals that I had that didn't appear on camera, or I was done for the day filming, so I got to try a lot of restaurants and a lot of different cuisines while I was there. So wow guys, in the space of 2 hours it has gone from being 19 degrees, almost 20 degrees, right down to 2 degrees. Right now it's 2 degrees, the wind is really icy, it actually feels like it's going to snow. And this all happened in the daytime, it didn't happen in the night. I have never seen weather change so quickly before. in my life. That was a lovely little burger from Mary Brown's. It's a local chicken outlet franchise based here in St John's. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. But we're almost at the gaff now. We've got a few hours to prepare for our onward journey to Gibraltar. Come on. So let's skip forward about 4-5 hours. I was planning on having a nap, but when I was packing everything, getting everything ready, I was just so anxious I was going to leave something behind. I didn't manage to have a nap. So here we are. It's just gone 10:15 in the evening and our flight departs St John's here at 12:45. We're going to travel through the night back to Gatwick, arriving just after 9 o'clock in the morning. Now the flight on the way back to London should be shorter than on the way here by approximately half an hour or so. So hoping to do it in around about the 4-hour mark this evening. So all checked in, very easy, and WestJet have been very accommodating again, giving me an exit row for free, and yeah, the row all to myself. So I really cannot complain. And if you go on WestJet's website to pre-book these seats, they can cost upwards of 100 Canadian dollars. So something to think about there, but they have been very accommodating. I definitely will be travelling with them again if I do plan to visit Canada. But here we are, let's settle in, because all I really want to do is have my dinner.
So we're going to go for a very quick de-ice on the way to taxiing to our runway this evening. It will be quick, they'll be there, let's do a quick spray and we'll be on our way up to 37,000 feet for 4 hours and 32 minutes. Overall the rides look forecasted pretty nice for a trip across tonight. And there are some thunderstorms in the area there in the Gatwick area, but they are looking to be cleared out just as we're arriving. So much appreciated having you on board this evening and appreciate your patience. We just had some difficulty with some paperwork this evening and we got that all sorted out. Thank you.
So there was a delay in the end on this flight, and it was just over an hour, but not too bad. As I say, we made the time up as we travelled across the Atlantic, and we settled in for another pretty good free meal here. You know, airplane food is nothing special, but WestJet, yeah, they give you a good meal. But here we are, guys, the sun has risen and we are coming in to London Gatwick. We can see the M23, the road that runs between London and Brighton. A trip I've been on many times. Coming from South London, we always used to head down to Brighton for our day trips. Absolutely fantastic part of the world. But here we are touching down at Gatwick Airport, and to be honest with you, I've slept the whole way, which I really appreciate. So it's going to help me today because we're going to land and I'm going to have a full day in London before my next flight this evening back to Malaga. But unfortunately the journey doesn't end there because we still need to get back to Gibraltar. But that's coming up a little bit later as we pull in to the North Terminal here at Gatwick Airport, and we are off the plane pretty quick, although it did take a very long time for our luggage to come out, and for about 20 minutes there was just one case going around. So it's a very good morning from me here at Gatwick Airport, where we semi-started the adventure. I slept the whole flight bar the meal service. Even then I slept through the meal service, but I was able to press the call button and they brought me my meal a little bit later on, which was absolutely lovely of them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head into London. I'm going to meet my parents for a few hours and we'll be back here at 5 o'clock to catch our onward flight to Malaga. So I'm going to leave the video here and we'll re-pick up the video back at Gatwick Airport later on today. Come on. So about 8 hours later or so, we are back here, but we are at the South Terminal this time. as we catch our next flight with Vueling Airlines, which is a Spanish company. So let's check them out. So a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, from a different terminal in the same airport. We're in Gatwick Airport South Terminal for our second flight of the day with Vueling from here to Malaga. So the journey continues. I've just spent the last 6 or 7 hours with my mum in London. I had a really lovely afternoon, but now it's time to continue with the journey. And it's amazing to think that I woke up in Canada this morning. I spent the day in London today. I'm going to do an overnight now in Malaga, and I should be in Gibraltar tomorrow morning around about 8 o'clock in the morning. So what an adventure. But we're running really late. Flight boards in about 40 minutes from now, so it's a really quick cigarette, and then we've got to rush to the gate. Come on. I'm not sitting 3 hours on a plane without a cigarette. That's just not happening. I'd rather miss it, to be honest, but luckily we had enough time and we are now running through duty free. But as always, I over panicked myself and we've still got plenty of time. So here we are in the departures hall. And as always, if you're getting any evening flight from Gatwick Airport, Boots always has the reduced sandwiches. So I got myself one of them to eat at the gate. So I thought I'd just do a quick piece to camera before the boarding gate here fills up. It's a really busy flight today. Something very peculiar happened when I walked past the Air India desk. This video will probably go out much later than when everyone recalls the disaster, but 2 days ago a flight went down heading to Gatwick. It was an Air India flight. Walked past the check-in desks now, and there are just so many teams of British and foreign office people, crisis teams and that there. So yeah, I didn't really want to film it, it was quite solemn, but anyway, we're on our way to Malaga now, although we are delayed, so I'm going to hold off booking any blah cars or buses until I know when we're going to land in Malaga. So let's see how the journey's going to go. Come on. Not as nice as the WestJet flight, but it does the job for this very short 2.5 hour flight down to Malaga. Wow guys, what a long and arduous night that has been. So we landed here in Malaga about midnight. The time is now 5:30 in the morning. I'm about to catch the first train down to a town called Fuengirola, where I'll be able to catch another bus onto La Linea and be able to cross the border to Gibraltar. I've tried every way possible, blah car, coaches from the airport. There is absolutely no way to get back to Gibraltar until this train, which is due to pull in a few minutes. So it'll be nice to get back on the road. It'll be nice to get home now, because I am feeling absolutely exhausted. So we have made it here to Fuengirola bus station, and at 7:10 on the dot, our bus arrives to take us to La Linea, and it really is a welcome sight. This really is one of the last steps, bar the walk through town when we get into Gibraltar. This is the last mode of transport we're taking anyway, so very happy to get on board, and it's not too long at all. It's only a 1 hour and 35-minute journey from Fuengirola down to La Linea, and a really pleasant sight ahead as we can see the Rock of Gibraltar there in the distance, and it is an absolutely beautiful morning. The time is now about 8:30 and we are here at the border. Let's cross, let's go through passport control, and let's head over the runway as we arrive here in Casemate Square, finally. So it's a very good morning from me here in Casemate Square in the centre of Gibraltar. We left Canada on Friday night at 10 p.m. We've arrived here into Gibraltar Sunday morning 9 a.m. So almost 2 days travelling to get back to Gibraltar. So quite a journey we've had, but let's talk about the trip now. St John's turned out to be one of the most underrated, fantastic, peaceful holiday destinations you could ever visit. If you do get the chance to go over there, I highly recommend it. I'm going to tell you how much the trip cost me now. So the return flights, they cost me £680. That's a return price from London Gatwick. The 2 flights to get me from Malaga to Gatwick, one cost €20 and the other one cost €80. I'll let you total it up. I'm not going to do a running total on the side of the screen. For our apartment in Canada, that cost us £350 for 6 nights. I actually accidentally booked an extra night. And well, I'm not going to tell you how much I spent, guys, but yeah, absolutely worth it. Such a cheap holiday, I would say. £600 all in, accommodation and flights. So it was well worth it. But I haven't slept now for 32 hours, so I'm going to head home now and get some decent rest. But from me here in Casemate Square, thank you for watching, and I shall see you all on the next adventure.